Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to On the Table Talk. I'm Stoney.
I'm T.
And what we do is read Reddit stories, subreddits in particular. And today we have one. It's Am I Overreacting? Let's get right into it then.
Okay.
All right. This one is about an assistant general manager joked about calling ICE during first day orientation. Should I report this? So someone says they had an orientation at a melting pot in Jacksonville, Florida, and I've already been getting a weird vibe since my interview yesterday. The interviewer mostly just kept repeating that the melting pot is one of the hardest serving jobs anyone can do and kept asking if I actually want the job, which I found odd, considering I've been serving for almost 4 years. How do you work at a job for 4 years and somebody asks you, do you want the job?
What?
What? Fast forward to orientation day. I don't get the orientation day. But anyway, toward the end, the assistant general manager asked us to provide our license and social security card. I wasn't told ahead of time to bring my social security card, so I told him I might have a photo of it. I checked my phone but couldn't find it and said I'd bring it in the following day when I came back for training. I do understand that he meant it as a joke. I honestly typically don't care about these things, but at the current state in which our country is under, just made it feel a little extra heavy. Mm-hmm. So he's asking any opinions.
Okay.
His response was, I don't have to call ICE, do I? Followed by laughter, including from him and the other 3 guys I was training with. Wow, the other guys chimed in with the laughter.
That's shocked up.
I laughed too, mostly out of embarrassment. I didn't want to immediately stand out or make things awkward, so I played it off. I am Puerto Rican, so I do have that Hispanic ethnic look. I don't know. The whole interaction really threw me off. It made me feel uncomfortable, and now I honestly don't want to go back. At the same time, I feel like this is something that should be reported to HR. The overall vibe just feels really off, and I can't tell if I'm overreacting or if this is a genuine red flag.
Well, I don't think he's overreacting. I think that was highly inappropriate, and although it was a joke, if it didn't make him laugh, then I'm not certain what the point was. You know what I'm saying? The joke was at his expense.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. And I don't think he's overreacting. At the same time, I feel like if he goes to HR, it might not help him.
You don't think HR would help him?
I feel like my instincts tell me that it would just be one of those things where at the end of the day, they would still be on this guy's side, the other guy's side, the manager or whatever. Now, he's doing orientation for a particular position. So is he saying that he's currently working there?
Yeah.
Because if he goes to HR, this might mess with his chances of getting this position because he's there for training. So I'm a little conflicted about that. Although what I would do, I'm not sure I would tell him to go to HR just yet. I would document it though. Write down everyone who was there, what happened, that type of thing.
Document it for sure.
I would for sure document it, and then I would wait to see what happens after that.
Right, because in the workplace, they always talk about things that you shouldn't talk about at work. And something like that about joking around about ICE, I'm sure that's one of the things
of course
you shouldn't be talking about. Especially since this guy is Puerto Rican and he looks the part.
He basically said he looks
he
ethnic.
is and looks it. So this guy jokes about it. Yeah, I know. I can imagine how he just laughs it off. But for me personally, I wouldn't tolerate stuff. I don't tolerate stuff like that.
Yeah, but in this particular situation, he obviously
not
wants
talking
to
about
be.
me. Talking about him.
Yeah,
Right.
he wants this position. I'm not saying for him to just take it. I'm saying sit back and wait and see what happens.
Right.
Document it, but just hold off for now and see how everything plays out while he's doing the orientation and things like that. If something happens again, then you can go.
Yeah, because
But-
this guy is prone to things like that.
Yeah,
So as far as towards you, maybe this was a one-off.
try to figure out when to make your move because right now it's fresh. So just observe and see what happens. And then you can make a decision when you're thinking a little bit more clearly, when you've gotten the position that you are already applying for. Just sit back and document it, but then just,
So
you know.
I don't know what the melting pot is. So are you saying he needs to reel it in? Are you
No.
saying he needs to sell out to
No.
get the position?
No.
Because he says he doesn't even feel like going back to a place he's been. It's not really clear what he's trying to do. He's trying to get a new position.
That's the impression I
He said,
got.
considering I've been serving for almost 4 years.
Well, no, that could, you know what then? Him saying serving could simply just mean that he's been in the industry for 4 years. That's probably what he means. This is a new position.
Yeah, because it says the melting pot is one of the hardest serving jobs anyone can get, or anyone can do. And kept asking me if I can actually do the job or something like that.
I just feel like he might be talking about the service industry in some
In a
capacity.
server?
Or hospitality
Is it
or something
maybe
like
is the
that.
melting pot, is it a restaurant
Let me
or
see.
something? He's going for a serving position, and he's been serving for almost 4 years.
Let's see, what is this?
Yeah,
It's a restaurant.
It's a restaurant, right? It's a melting pot called it.
See?
Like a melting pot restaurant in Jacksonville, Florida. Maybe it's a prestigious place where a lot of people want to work. I have no idea, but it sounds like he's been a server for 4 years, and now he applied for this position at the melting pot. Now he's in orientation.
Here's the thing. Listen, it would be nice for people to be able to just say, look, I'm not going to go for this job. Jobs are very scarce right now. And so everyone is, well, I won't say everyone. A lot of people are going through it right now. So it's really easy to just say, well, don't go back. Right? And then also with that being said, do you know how often people of color have to deal with prejudice? A lot. You're just forced to suck it up if you want employment.
You telling me?
Or you have to create your own job, right?
Right.
And even then, when you create your own job, you still sometimes can come across people who are ignorant.
Right.
And so if he is trying to get a job that he wants and he has to deal with this, he may just have to find a way to deal with it.
Right.
It's not selling out. Because then you would have to say most people of color are selling out, because most people of color can probably tell you that they've experienced some form of ignorance in the workplace.
Or prejudice, right.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you either stay away from those people or you say, hey, I don't get down like that. I don't know about going to HR right now. Obviously, if it's harassment, I mean, what is HR going to do? Oh, this guy made a joke about ICE. HR is going to be like, okay.
Yeah, here it is, babe. Look.
You're gonna
It's
send
some
out-
fancy, smancy place,
Yeah.
look like.
HR is going to put out a memo saying, oh, yeah, don't make jokes about this and that. But nothing really is going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, they're just going to highlight the part in the company policy. They're going to put out a sheet of paper. They're going to highlight the part in the company policy where it says, don't do this, don't do that. But nothing's really, really, really going to happen. So like what you said, document it.
Yeah.
You can document the date, the time, who said what was said, who was in the room with you. If you do that enough times, now you can go to HR with ammunition, especially if it affects you in a way like you think that they're harassing you or straight out being racist or prejudiced or whatever label you want to put on it. If they're doing something to you specifically, now you have backup. When you go to HR and say, this is not just a one-off. this is what's been happening over the last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
when HR says, why is it taking you so long to come to me with this? You just go, really? Really?
You say, I thought it would get better. I hoped it would get better.
Yeah.
That's what you say. I hoped it would get better.
But just in
And I
case.
didn't want to have to involve HR in this problem. I just hoped it was a one-time thing and it would never happen again.
obviously
But
it
it
wasn't.
continued to happen. Here it is. Happened on this date, that date, so on and
Now
so
it's
forth.
escalated
Yeah.
to this point.
Exactly.
Where I've told them repeatedly not to do this, and they just keep doing it, and I've had it up to here. So,
Yeah, so you are not overreacting, and I think you
Not
know you're
overreacting.
not overreacting.
yeah,
Because, like, come on now,
you're not overreacting.
you know.
Let's see here. Somebody says here, very bad sign of things to come. Okay. I am a Latina, and I have that ethnic look. And even though I was born in this country, I get jumped in with the others. Okay, my first week on the job, my coworker who was doing my handover decided to start calling me by my first name with the racial slur
Oh, Lord.
for my group of people at the end. Okay, I don't get that, but I didn't like it.
Well,
I went
duh.
to HR in shock, or I was the problem.
Told you.
Yeah. You go to HR, you're the problem.
I told you.
Everything was just fine until you got here, right? Because all of a sudden you get here and now you want to complain about something.
Yep.
You see, my coworker used to use that word all the time when she was growing up, and her family used to laugh, and they think it was funny.
Well, why don't you go be a comedian then?
Yeah. And somebody said, could just be me. But being racially abused multiple times throughout the day by fellow employees is something that I found unacceptable and not conducive to a harmonious working environment. That's the language that companies use in their company policies. That's why that person said that.
Yeah, because that's what they gaslight you when you go to HR. You think they're there for you. They are not there for you.
They're not there for you.
They are there to protect the company.
But somebody said, wait, what? Please be more specific about the word. Because what I'm imagining is whatever.
All right, let's
What
see.
else? Feel free to report, but also keep interviewing for a different job.
Yeah. I think the OP really wants this position, though, because it seems
Well, OP
like
has a position there in orientation, right?
I think he's probably wanted to
Oh,
have
he's
this position.
wanted the
Yeah,
position.
and that might be
Right.
maybe playing around with him, you know?
Right.
He doesn't want to just let it go because he's wanted to have this position, and now he has it.
Okay.
So,
Well, OP, if you consider that comment as a racist comment, then just understand that those type of comments, although not acceptable, but they're all over the place.
Okay.
All right. Someone here says report them to HR. I'm sure corporate, if it's a corporate company, right, that they said the
Yeah.
name of the company, so it's got to be a corporate company. So corporate would be interested in something like this if it's a hostile work environment. It says somebody says the irony of this taking place at the melting pot. The melting pot, right? And report them to HR. Yeah, report them to HR. Somebody says not overreacting, but report it as if you were a customer who overheard an interaction, assuming customers were in the building at the time. So yeah, you can do that. I've heard of people leaving comments on Yelp about a company, but they're really employees who are leaving comments about their supervisors, or they're leaving comments about other employees maybe who they don't like. So you really have to sometimes you have to take comments on Yelp, for example, with a grain of salt. Someone says here, yes, because if you're new, they might retaliate. It's technically illegal, but yes, companies do it all the time. Do it all the time. Oh, this the new guy causing problem. Wow, the new guy went to HR already? Wow, I see this guy's going to be a problem. No, you're not the problem. You're not the problem. Let's see. Not overreacting. That's not anything even remotely funny for him to be joking about. I report him to HR, and if nothing comes with that, I wouldn't work for them. Mm-hmm. Well, that's another thing, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't work for them. It says, my husband is Puerto Rican. I worry about him all the time because of the state of the country right now. For your sake and the sake of our future Hispanic customers and coworkers, please report his ass. Not overreacting. I'm sorry. You experienced that blatant racism.
Mm-hmm. Because you know what? If he had not been a person of color, then I feel like if the manager had made that joke, it would be a joke. Because you would probably assume he wouldn't make that joke to a person who is not ethnic.
Well, if a person wasn't ethnic, he wouldn't have made the joke about ICE.
But that's what I'm
all.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
If he had done it,
that definitely was a racial joke.
Yeah, it was. That's
100% racial joke.
But that's what I'm saying. If he had done it to someone who was not ethnic, you could have taken it as an actual joke, right? Because most people, when they think about people of the European diaspora, they don't think of them as being immigrants. They are. They don't think of them like that.
They are.
They just automatically assume that they are not immigrants. Mm-hmm. They are absolute immigrants as well. And that's why I said if he had done it to someone like that, then maybe it could have been seen as an actual, joke. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But he didn't. He chose someone who was ethnic, and
he chose to throw a racial jab just to see what happened.
It's literally like in today's society right now, that was racial.
It's a jab all the way.
Absolutely. So.
And I've heard, I'm just going to say Puerto Ricans since we're talking about Puerto Ricans. I've heard, I don't know what they call themselves. I'm just going to say Puerto Rican. I've heard 2 Puerto Ricans make ICE jokes. So one Puerto Rican make another ICE joke to another Puerto Rican. Is that okay in the workplace? Just a side question, because I've heard that before as well.
So you're saying 2 people in the same community,
a black guy making a black joke towards another black guy, for example.
Is that okay?
Is that okay?
So if we're talking about 2 people on the same level, and they are joking with each other that way, I'm going to say it's probably not appropriate in the workplace, right? Just don't make those type of jokes, even if you're doing it with one another.
It's definitely not anything to joke about, though.
It's inappropriate. I
don't get down like that.
Yeah, it's absolutely inappropriate. The next commenter says, exactly. You can tell who has and hasn't worked in the industry by the comments. Yeah, well.
But get in there, work the job, and see if you can make some changes. I mean, I don't know if you're going to, be that type of person, but these type of things happen, and I'm not saying that you should accept it at all. What I am saying is that one joke like this from assistant general manager is something that needs to be noted, and just watch out for it.
Yeah, this person right here says this is I guess this is an OP. And wait. Okay, so I think the OP is responding to the last comment that I read, which was exactly, you can tell who has and hasn't worked in the industry by comments. This person says, the OP, I mean, is 4 years of serving not enough? What's it take? 20 years to have an understanding? I'll read this one. Can I read a couple? And then we can close out. All right. Okay, so not overreacting. He's an unprofessional a-hole. And welcome to food service. He's probably still more professional than most. This is what I was saying about how if you are a person of color.
Welcome to food service, huh?
Yeah, like duh, right? If you are a person of color, you're used to having something happen at least once on the job.
No, I think that person is saying, welcome to food service.
No, I get what they're saying.
Like it's a really, really low-level job, and this is what you're going to get, so accept it.
So, but yeah, welcome to the food industry, right? As if this is quite common. Like, trust that I know most people are assholes. So I feel like the OP is a little annoyed at folks in like their position.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable. People seem to think that you can just get up and leave, and I mean, and you can.
Right.
But hello, people need work. They have bills to pay.
Right.
And everywhere you go, there you are, right?
I mean,
you can't escape who you are. And man, it would be nice to just put all the ignorant people on one island and never have to deal with them. But that's not the way the world works.
And I think what a lot of people are saying is that in this industry, I do think some of the comments, it's there. What I get out of it is that they're saying that it is acceptable. Problem is not you, it's them. Don't let nobody force you off the job. If they didn't put their hands on you or sabotaging you or something, just brush them off and keep it going, because you're not the boss and you can't fire that person, and you alone are not going to be able to make changes at that place. You're going to need backup with documentation and or other people who feel the same way you do, and you all need backup with documentation. And that's it.
So no, you are not overreacting.
You're not overreacting. So if you have anything that, any comments you want to say about anything that we've said, or if you want to add to anything that we've talked about as far as what we've read about other comments, go ahead and leave your comments in the chat. Like and share the video. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on YouTube.
Okay, that's
all right.
That's
well,
it.
Anyway, I think that's it. I'm Stoney.
I'm T.
And join us for the next time where we see what's on the table and talk about it.
All right.
All right. So until next time.
Bye.
Bye.